Deputies, welcome back to another episode of Los Santos Goes to Work. Now, it's been a minute since we've done this series, but I saw a really cool truck mod released on GTA5-mods.com. It's the Tesla semi-truck by Skyrix, and I'll leave a link. You can download this truck. If you're not familiar, the Tesla Semi is a new product announced by Tesla only a month or two ago. And they're looking to expand into the trucking industry by creating an electric truck. Of course, the truck would not use any gas. It would be 100% electric powered, which is a really cool idea because if you think about it, a lot of gas is used up by trucks transporting things. Now, I imagine that over time, Tesla is planning to implement some type of their autopilot control systems into these trucks, meaning that driving for truck drivers would at least be semi-autonomous, so they wouldn't have to have hands on the wheel at all times. But it's just a really interesting idea. Now, the logistics of getting a battery to hold enough charge for a whole trip for a truck, that's another story, and I think it's something they're still working on. But yeah, the idea is being produced, and hopefully it'll be out in a few years. I don't know if they actually officially announced the release date or not. But this is what it looks like in our GTA 5 game. And are these windshield wipers? Wow, what a design there. So we're going to take the white truck. We're going to do a little bit of transporting today in GTA 5, but let's just take a look around the vehicle before we begin today. Now, there are some bugs with this model, and the author has noted that. One being the doors. There's a good bit of clipping through the doors. Also, sometimes when we're attaching to trailers, there's a little bit of some glitchiness. But other than that, it's pretty good. Oh, I will mention the interior is not very well modeled out. I don't know if this is a light bar they showed off because I've actually never seen the back of a real life one. But that's pretty cool. I just like the one bar in the back for the brakes. Let's step inside this thing. Check it out. You guys have to see how the door opens. Now, I imagine they took this from how the door really opens on the example model that was shown, but watch the door. Look how it just slides in there. I find that really cool. So being electric, we technically really don't have a fuel meter. We'll pretend that's like our battery meter, how much battery we have in the truck. The interior of the truck, as I mentioned, is very simple. But I believe the truck will have some type of screens like these two you see. Tesla is known for having these just huge tablet-like displays in their interiors, which I think is pretty attractive. But just a very simple interior. Let's pull out the car here and take a better look at it. So I actually replaced the exhaust sound of this truck, which it's replacing the Phantom in the game, with an electric car, so we will not hear any engine noise, which is cool. So it's got some lights. Here are the high beams, no lights, low beams. It looks so slick and so futuristic. I just find that really cool. Here's let's see if we can see even the right turn signal. I believe you can see it when I'm moving, but you can kind of see it dimly flashing. That's the right, that's the left, that's all working. Now I don't see any signaling in the front of the truck, but that's probably just more a model issue. So just driving it around a little. It's so bizarre how quiet it is. This is just really cool. We'll do a little bit of cinematic driving, and then we'll go ahead and get an assignment for a load. Just picturing these driving around on the interstate.
I noticed we were out of beer this morning.
It's like we're living in the future. I also think the turning radius of these trucks is supposed to be a lot tighter than your traditional semi truck. There's the reversal lights. Pretty cool stuff. All right, we'll go ahead, get a load assignment. We'll head over there, pick it up, do some transporting in this fully electric truck. We are headed to pick up a trailer at the train station. And we're going to be taking it up to the Clucking Bell's farm. It's, I believe it's some pesticide or something they're requesting. We just need to wait for a green light. Of course, we're going to monitor our speed, make sure we follow traffic law as well. You can see a little bit of some clipping issues there as the top of the cab tends to clip through things because it's so tall. Just a normal car horn on this thing.
You know, same old. I gotta get out of South Los Santos. The place eats away at you, you know what I mean?
Not using any gas or fuel. Pretty cool.
Shit.
Continue straight.
We'll see if we see any other Tesla semis out on the road when we're making this trip, because we did replace it with the Phantom, so we might see a few on the road too. And of course, we're hitting every red light imaginable. Almost have to view this truck from the side so I can see around this really tall cab. I mean, compared to the other trucks, the cab is so much taller. But I believe it's designed that way to be more aerodynamic. It probably has a really low drag coefficient, and that's important because you don't want the battery to be affected by wind drag and things like that. You want it to last as long as possible. Now, I don't know how they're going to handle charging after a drop-off. It could be something like a hot swap, meaning they just literally they could bring these trucks to a station on the way back from dropping it off, and just maybe a 20-minute procedure and get a whole new fresh battery put in, just kind of like a plug and play type scenario. I think they're still trying to figure that out. But I think that's the biggest challenge currently they're facing, just figuring out how to maximize the range of this thing, because trucks, they drive a lot, and drivers, time is money to them. They're not going to have the ability to wait an hour or two in between trips just to get a full charge. So Tesla would need a pretty large infrastructure. We're already seeing problems with Tesla sedans, specifically in California, where people literally are waiting in line. What is going on with these trailers? I think it actually spawned 2 trailers for whatever reason. But we're seeing problems in California where people have to wait in line to use these charging stations, the Tesla stations, and people will be at these stations 45 minutes to an hour. So if there's a long line, you could be waiting hours just to get a charge. All right, we'll try to figure out what's going on here. It looks like 2 trailers were spawned by accident. We'll pick one up and get on the road.
In 0.1 miles, turn right.
All right, we figured it out. We're headed out of there now. I just noticed this thing doesn't have any mirrors on it either. I see these wing things on the side, and I assume those are maybe our cameras where the driver could see on the camera system what's behind them, but otherwise no cameras. So we got about a 6 mile, or no no mirrors, excuse me. What the heck? Man, these drivers. So yeah, I imagine here on the screens you'd be able to see kind of what's behind you. Just silence. Man, that is cool. No, I really like the idea of Teslas. It's just right now the price versus the benefit. It's not a good value component. At least not for me. The environment's an important thing to me, but I want a good value too. So in order to offset the cost of a Tesla vehicle, it would take me a long time. I don't even know if I could do it in my lifetime with the gas costs. I mean, maybe I could do it in my lifetime. I haven't actually sat down and crunched numbers, but it would take a while to get my money back to make it worth it. You figure you're paying a premium for the electric vehicle. The Model S, that would take forever, but the Model 3, depending on the configuration and the final price, that could maybe be worth it, but we're still talking probably at least 20 years for it to pay off in fuel cost savings. I mean, it's the same problem with current hybrid vehicles. You pay a premium for a hybrid, and in order to recoup that cost, it takes a while. But with hybrids, you're talking more than likely under 10 years. But for the price of a Tesla, it's quite expensive. So that's why I haven't really jumped on the Tesla train. Until they get their prices down, I think a lot of consumers are going to have that problem. And that's been their plan pretty much all along, to make a high volume car that's affordable to the masses. So we'll probably see something else come out from Tesla, probably an even smaller vehicle that's all electric, that's much more affordable. We have seen the price of electric vehicles drop, though, in the past 5 to 10 years, and by electric I mean hybrid. We've seen those costs go down, and as technology gets better and manufacturing processes get more efficient, we'll see that price kind of drop down over time. But at some point, I'm sure we'll hit, kind of a wall, like a diminishing returns type situation, where it's as good as it's going to get. What are your guys' thoughts on Tesla, and specifically the Tesla semi model that we're driving here? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's pointless? I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. If the whole trucking sector, though, switched over to electric vehicles, That would be a very interesting scenario. Sounds like they're police in the area. I don't know. We're definitely driving the speed limit here. Electric vehicles are known for their torque and acceleration because of the electric motors. They can instantly
8.1
get up and go.
miles. Continue straight.
Now, I don't know for electric motors if towing capacity is an issue. These types of commercial vehicles are hauling a lot of weight. I wouldn't think, since they have so much torque, I wouldn't think so. But I am by no means a mechanic or anything of that
straight.
nature. Looks like we're about 2 miles away here. So far doing good. Still have a very nice charge on the battery. I just love going into the cinematic view. It's hard to drive though, that's for sure. It's hard to stay in my lane. Oh, there goes an Amazon truck. So once we get there, we're gonna detach our trailer, and we should get paid. Should be on the left side of the road, up ahead. It's a lot of pesticides. So if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, those are just some metrics. Electric vehicles don't have gears, but if we were in a traditional one, it looks like we'd be about in third gear or so. You can also see our speed, which I've updated to the latest Rage Transportation mod, and I just forgot to switch that back over to miles per hour. But it is a really fun mod, and oh, there's another Tesla semi pulling onto the road. Looks like he's carrying, ironically, some fuel. Oh, is he trying to race me? Looks like he's got some bikers ahead on his side. Hauling fuel, a Tesla semi hauling some fuel. I guess I gotta merge over. 8.3 miles away.
Continue straight.
Oh my gosh, brake. And thanks to this idiot over here, we just damaged our load, so that's gonna eat into our profits for the trip. Okay, so it's one of these facilities over here. I gotta watch where I'm going. Still, we have the issue of if we try to cut a corner a little too tight, we'll jackknife the load and it'll detach automatically. So I think we can get around on this side here. Oh man, that looks really quite tight. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Let's pull ahead and we'll back up here. I hate backing up in these things. Alright, let's pull ahead and just try to get straight back. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go this way. The other way is just way too tight. Yeah, okay, I see a little path we can take. So we need to back it into the green area to drop it off. And that is a really tight spot because we got another trailer over here. Really don't have a lot of room to pull forward. So I guess we could try to cut it at an angle. That's still really tight though. All right, there we go. We finally made it into the spot. Let's go ahead and detach. Pesticides delivered, and we made a little bit of money. We had about 12% roughly damage to that trailer, unfortunately. And as you can see, I had to clear out a little bit of the fence in order to make enough room. But that's going to conclude today's episode of Los Santos Goes to Work. I hope you enjoyed this one-of-a-kind truck. If you did, make sure to like the vehicle, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.